everyone. This is Planckera. I still don't have my voice back. Life is hard. But welcome to my universe, where I must whisper in order to communicate. So, today, I'm gonna continue drawing flowers. Because there are just so many dang flowers. I thought this was a good idea. It's okay. They're nice. I like them. So I will keep trying to draw them nicely. And I was looking at more references of flowers today. And I realized that a lot of them have this kind of reddish center. So I'm gonna pick that red that I want to use. I think that's a good one. Don't mind that I just changed the color of like everything. That doesn't really matter. Oh, my mouth is moving. One. Oh, there we go. There we go. But yeah. Don't mind that I was just change the color of everything. I was gonna change it back. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So I'm just gonna add this nice little red center to my flowers here. I think that'll be nice once I get it right. It goes kinda like this. It's like pointy. I always like to start my drawing sessions by just taking a look at pictures of what I'm actually trying to draw, just to make sure that I can capture them properly. And I just noticed that they had something like this, so I figured I'd include that. The ones that are on their side, I don't think I'm going to include this little red spot, because I guess I'll check what they look on the back side one more time. That's probably worth taking a look at if I could find a good picture. Always a big if. Let's see, do I see the back side? Okay. Without I'm drawing them, I'm just going to leave it like that for now. I'll only do it on the ones that are open. But I might add a couple more details to the ones that are kind of folded over on themselves like this later. They might get a couple more details, maybe, I don't know. We'll see if I like it or not. I think that'll be a decision for future me. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add this quick little star shape to all the open ones like this. It's gonna be messy, I'm not gonna worry about it too much. I'll make that look nice when I go back and just refine the colors of everything. But this will help me figure out where the lines, these guys that I'm gonna want to put on the flowers here, where they should exist. And this will kind of help me figure it out. So I'm just gonna put the beginning of the little indications here. And later, when the time is right, I will refine all of this. I just want the colors there right now. A lot of this is just to make sure that I even like this detail in the first place. That should be enough to tell me. And yeah, a little bit of extra color does indeed go a long way here. So I'm gonna go ahead and add it to all the flowers. And then it'll be time to add some lines. And really just make everything sparkle. It's gonna be fantastic. Completely fantastic. I'm very excited. Makes me wish I could talk properly. But the fact that I am here today, despite my voice still not returning to me, should tell you just how excited I am for these things. I actually think I'm gonna cover more of that. I think it's gonna be more like I get like this whole thing, and yeah, I should start doing it like that, or just get the whole center go start back from the top and get it more like that. You can see it's pretty shaky up here, but now I have a better idea of what I'm doing. So I think I can get the effect I want a little bit better now. There we go. Although, I don't know, that's kind of fat. Okay, never mind. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing. It's okay, never know what I'm doing. But I do think I want it a little bit bigger than that on a lot of these. Just a nice cute little red center. Yeah, this one definitely has to be bigger. Don't gotta be reserved with this. Just gotta get it in there. And I can experiment with the size all I want until I get it right. Doesn't always happen on the first try. To actually go as far as to say it rarely happens on the first try. I was working on another picture this morning, off stream, and I finally figured out maybe 90% of something that I'd been struggling with for a while, and that made me pretty happy too. Always nice when I can finally figure out that last piece of something. Feels great, man. Okay. Okay, how's that for size? I think it's pretty good. Definitely adds in a bit more color variety. So I would just figure out how big I want this guy to be now. And then I'll just put these little centers on all the rest. One at a time. If I could do 5 at a time, I would, but unfortunately, my brush can only be in one place at once. So, must do them one at a time, slowly but surely. Okay, hold on, got a quick cough. Been feeling better the past couple of days, though. Yesterday was the first day I didn't need an extensive nap. I'm no longer like sleeping half the day, so I'm getting better. I'm almost there. So with any luck, my voice will come back soon, and I can talk like a normal person. We'll see when I can start playing Dead Cells again. For now, I'm happy to be here just drawing. Oh, and I see that I missed a spot here. Let's go ahead and fix that. There we go. These things happen more than I'd like to admit. Where I just miss 1 or 2 spots. But it's okay. Once I notice, I can go ahead and add them in again. Then, after I finish adding all of that, I'm gonna go back through and check to make sure I didn't miss any. Make sure all of them have their nice little red center, at least the ones that are gonna get it. The buds might get their own color. And the ones that are kind of folded like this will probably get their own color too. But for now, I'm just gonna leave it like this. And the ones that are in the back, like this one here, where they're kind of purple right now, themselves aren't gonna get anything in the center. Not yet. Maybe they'll get their own thing at some point. But for now, I'm just gonna leave them like that. By letting them have less detail, it kind of makes them recede further into the background. So that's another thing I can do to make it look like they're behind something. I just give them less detail. Okay, and I think that's fine for now. I like it. And they also have a bunch of little, like, stamens inside. I'll draw those at some point. But not until the end. That'll probably be, like, the last finishing touch I do. Okay. Now it's time for lines. Let's make these guys glow, man. It's gonna be great. They're gonna look great. Oops. And I see I didn't get this one quite smooth enough. So anytime that happens, I'm just gonna go back and fix it. It's not really that big a deal. Up until now, I was just focused on the outlines, the outer edge of the flowers. But now I kind of have to care about where the petals overlap each other. So all the details start mattering more now. So now I want to pay attention to where everything overlaps, which petals are on top, and which ones are underneath. So all of those little details are going to come into play now. And I might end up needing to change the shape of the outside, but if I do, that's okay. I can change my mind as many times as necessary in order to get an effect that I like. I'm gonna finish the details on this flower the way that I like them. And then I'm gonna go zoom out and make sure that I still like it when I'm zoomed out. And that's the point when I know that I can start moving on to the other flowers and use this one as kind of a template. In that I will like the result on the other flowers if I follow this one. If I just follow this one's example. And you can see I'm changing the shape on this quite a lot, actually. I wasn't quite satisfied with how it turned out. But fortunately, that's okay. It's totally fine. I'll just go and reshape it until I am satisfied with how it turns out. And I do think it looks a lot better like this, so worked out. Worked out just fine. The beauty of digital. The tool that lets you change your mind as many times as you want. It's a blessing and a curse, because on the one hand, you can keep reworking something until it's exactly how you want it to be. But because you can keep doing that, you can get stuck on something for a long time. And you gotta be careful. Definitely gotta be careful. Otherwise you'll spend all eternity on one thing, and you'll never finish anything. Alright. Now I'm gonna go for this. Some thinner lines on this red part. And you notice that I am not following where I drew it exactly. Because some parts of my drawing changed since I drew them. I'm putting them where I think they should be. And not where they currently are. I'm also having some trouble with that, but that's okay. Like I said, I can try try as many times as I need to. This is where I'm sad I can't laugh properly. Life is hard, man. I feel like I'm not me if I can't laugh like a dork every time I mess something up. Should be okay. Okay, and I see that I started this one, so I guess I'll do this one next. He did not get his center. I should do that first. Well, actually, I guess it doesn't matter since I'm kind of already going on lines. So I'll just... Oops. Definitely do not want to be doing lines in that color. Gotta be doing it in the correct color. There we go. Oh yeah, I should make sure that I like it. Yep, looks good to me. So this one has some petals kind of folding all over on top of each other, so I need to be very careful to define which ones are on top and which ones are behind. And I think that this is the correct order for these things to be in, with this lower right petal being on top. Alright, so I guess I'll be doing this for the next, however long it takes again. Knowing me, it'll probably take a while. Just kinda how it is. Just gotta do this for every single flower. And I drew a lot of them. So there's gonna be a lot of flowers to go through. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh no. I drew a lot of flowers. And now I have to render all the flowers. How could this happen to me? But if I'm being honest, I think this is going to be the hardest part of the drawing left. Like, for me, the hardest parts are going to be like a bunch of background stuff and hair. So this is going to be the hardest part left. Since I've already done the hair. So I just gotta get through it. And after that, it should be pretty smooth sailing. The branches will probably be a little time consuming too. But I don't think they'll have anything on the flowers. So I tell my brain, just hold out a little longer. You got this, buddy. We can make these flowers nice and pretty. And it'll be great. I need them to be green. so I could see a little better. I might also need a background color since I can't see this checker pattern very well. It's too thick. But yes, I find this to be a little bit easier to see on. So I'll draw like this. Draw like this. So this way I can see all my lovely flowers perfectly. Oh man, they're already looking so good. I'm so happy. So happy. Terrified, but very happy. It's alright. I'll get through it. I'll just be sitting here for a while. It's so good. I doubt I'll be able to finish the lines today because I think I'm still going to go for shorter streams until my throat recovers. Once I'm talking normally again, and I don't feel worn out after an hour, then, maybe I can go back to doing 3-hour longer streams. But I gotta go easy on myself while I can't talk. I don't want to damage my vocal cords. That would just be unfortunate, Unfortunate. I would like to get my voice back eventually. I can't do that without taking proper care of my voice, unfortunately. Well, there's so much I can do to power through things, I think just coming here as I am is pushing my limits enough. So for these tiny buds, I'm gonna put a bit less detail on them because they're so small. There's not a lot of room for a lot of the same details that I go over some of the other ones. But the bigger ones, I can kind of do what I want. Yeah, I really can't see against that background. I'm just gonna come down to the bottom here. And I'm gonna go ahead and add a color that I can see against. This should be fine. It's not fine. There. Now I can see. And I'll just hide it anytime I actually want to look at stuff. But I could not see where the edges of some of these blossoms were with the lines on. And I want to make sure that they look nice against a dark background. Since this image is transparent, it should look good against any color. Man, this is a lot of flowers. why'd stuff like this have to look so good, man? It's not fair. It's not fair at all. Just makes me want to draw so many little details. But then it takes forever to draw them. Oh well. Life is hard. It is what it is. Let's make something nice. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, I think that's a good thing. I don't think I have to adjust any of them. And I think it's fine if it's a little bit inconsistent, since all these flowers are different sizes. As long as which petals are on top and which ones are on bottom is very clear. And that there's a clear outline around them to make them look more like stained glass like I want. Because I think it's pretty. I do think it's pretty. And it does make me happy. That it's gonna be a while before I finish this, but once I do, that's the point that I get to decide what colors I want all these petals to be in order to complete the look. That I actually haven't decided yet. I'll have to go through and pick the colors at some point. Because I think they need a couple more. Maybe some light ones. And maybe another dark one. But I have some ideas to make this look really nice. And I'm very excited to work on them. I am. My brain, while it's just in kinda simple, kinda dull rendering mode, will be making these decisions on what kind of colors I want here. And then I'd also like to do something where, something like that. Where I add a little bit more detail to the petals themselves. I think that'll look really nice. But I want to do that at the end. I don't want to do that yet. I need to finish this part before I get into those kinds of details. Otherwise I'll have a bad time. And I'll probably have to erase a bunch of them. And I will cry. And I'd rather not make myself cry if I can help it. Gotta be kind to yourself, you know. I don't want to make myself do a whole bunch of unnecessary work just because I was too lazy to do things in a reasonable order, or too impatient to do things in a reasonable order. That'd just be unfortunate, you know. So I gotta take it slow, unfortunately. Life is hard. Life sure is hard. But it's okay, I'll be patient. let my mind wander a bit as I had lines to all the flowers. All of them, every single one. It's been really cute. There's this little bunny that's made its nest in one of the bushes in our front yard. So every morning, my daughter gets to go out, look out the window, and just see this little bunny. I'm wondering if it's gonna have babies or something at some point, and she'll get to see a bunch of baby bunnies. I think that'd be pretty cute too. But they're just chilling in our bushes. Our yard is good for small animals like that. We got lots of little bushes and trees for them to hide in. Lots of little bushes and trees. We get lots of little birds too, hiding from the bigger birds. So there's little bird nests in our trees. And I saw some baby birds flying around our yard the other day. My yard is pretty wild. I don't do much to tame it. It's probably why I'm having bad allergies. But on the other hand, it means I get lots of little animals in it, and I like seeing that. It's nice to see. Okay, that light is still really messy. I'm gonna have to clean it up. But I'm gonna go ahead and prep some of these other ones before I do that, because I feel like it. No other reason than because I feel like it. Alright, let's go ahead and actually smooth out some of these lines now. Guess I'll go ahead and finish this one while I'm here, but now it's time to make the wall look nice. Gotta make them all look nice. Gotta try to get the wall like the same width and everything. Right now they're kind of all over the place, so gotta tame it a little bit here. There we go, that's looking much nicer. As always, it might take me a couple of tries to get it, but as long as I don't give up, I know that it'll come. I've done stuff like this enough times that I can believe now. It's a great feeling. It saves me from giving up on pictures that would be pretty good with just a little bit more effort. I used to do that a lot, but I don't nearly as much anymore. It's nice to be able to trust yourself. Trust yourself in the process. Good things will come to those who work for them. So let's see, I'm considering how far I want to get today before I stop. It might just be a time thing. If my throat starts to hurt, I'll definitely have to stop, but I think I can keep going until then. Just drop my nice things. I'm kinda glad that I'd been messing with sound settings before I lost my voice here, because it told me that I can actually make my microphone sound decent, even when I'm whispering. So I knew that I could do this, otherwise I would have had to take this week off too, and that would have just been terrible. Man, can't imagine not working on this for a week. Sounds like a terrible future, one that I do not want to be part of. But fortunately, I don't have to live in that future because I did mess with a bunch of sound settings. So I know what my microphone is capable of now. Get better at learning these things. Oh man. A little bit bored, I'll finally scroll away from where I started. Oh boy. It's gonna be a long process, man. But I can no longer see the first blossom. I did. Progress has been made. So, gotta zoom out and take a look. They're looking pretty good. Let's turn them pink again. Look at them. They're so pretty. Yeah, I do like the way they look with the white outline versus the ones that don't. And by checking fun, back to actually rendering them out. Dang nabbit. Probably back down to the circle. I keep meaning to update Krita, but I still haven't. I think I've been telling myself to do it for over a month now. I just always had stuff to do right after stream and then I forget. I have been perhaps a little bit scatterbrained lately. There's been a lot going on. Been a lot going on. But it's exciting stuff. I do hope that my daughter's happier in school than I was. I had a pretty rough time at school. Well, at first it was fine. I don't think I really got bad until, like, into middle school, early high school. So, still, I hope she has a better time than I did. Get another cough, give me a moment. Just don't want to blow your ears out since I have my sensitivity turned up so high. So this way the microphone can actually hear me. I've like all my noise suppression turned down. See, this one didn't get its little pink center, unfortunately. But that's alright. I can work around it. I'll get it when it comes time to draw things proper. Get all the proper shading in there. And I'm sure that day will come before I know it. But it will feel like an eternity. That's kind of how rendering's always been for me. I just go and go and go, and then at some point I'm like, oh, I'm done, cool. And it always takes me by surprise. Because I think it'll last forever. But doing all this will just take forever. But then somehow forever comes, and I'm done. So I'm sure that it'll feel that way here too. Or it'll feel like I'm just drawing forever and ever and ever. But someday it'll just be done. And I'll be like, whoa, when did that happen? I'll be so confused for just a moment. Happens a lot. On the image that I'm drawing off stream, I'm also kind of on a combination design and rendering thing. Just because it took me a while, but I think I finally got the design that I want down on it. So I've taken some time to render the face. And this one, I'm trying to do in a semi-realism style. So it's taken a while to do everything. The more realism you want to add to something, the longer it takes, I feel like, just because you do need a higher level of certain details in order to make it come across as realistic. Like here, I didn't even bother to draw a nose, because it wasn't really necessary. But with semi-realism, you gotta draw a nose, otherwise it'll look very strange. Like, very, very strange. So I have to remind myself how to draw noses, because I realize it's been a while since I've drawn a proper one. But I don't want to lose everything I learned in semi-realism, so I try to practice it occasionally. I want it to remain in my repertoire for where I think it's important. because it makes me happy. Sometimes I feel like I should specialize harder, but man, my interests are just extremely varied, so I like doing a lot of different things. Like at some point I'd still like to do some programming streams. Or once I get a little bit more comfortable with open tunes, maybe some animation streams. I'd also like to do some story reading. Where I just read. Read stories. Read some books. Read them out loud. Act out the characters. Have fun. So many things I want to do. This is my opportunity cost is my biggest enemy. I always wish there were more hours in the day. It's bad. Some areas where I don't quite like the shapes here. So I gotta touch them up. Very normal. Nothing to worry about. It happens all the time. Even though my first pass through was largely focused on getting those outer edges looking nice, I rarely get it 100% correct the first time through. So a lot of the times I am touching things up in my second pass, and that is totally fine. Completely and utterly fine. I can see now that I'm starting to go down the first part of the curve here. So things are coming along slowly but surely. I don't know what this one's supposed to be. It looks like some residue. Where something used to be, but no longer is, so I guess I'll go ahead and erase it. There we go. Nice and clean. Oh yeah, and I should go ahead and add where its cute little red center's gonna go. Trying to keep the angle of the pedal in mind as I add this, because the tip of the point there should be roughly in the center of the pedal. In theory. It's okay for it to be a little bit off, but I do try to do my best to get it into the right spot. It'll look nicer that way, more accurate. I swear it's a good thing I really like drawing flowers. Otherwise this would be painful. But as it is, it's not so bad. I think it probably looks more painful than it actually is. For any lurkers out there, this is when my mind is able to wander the most, and when I can talk the most. So if you have any questions, now is a fantastic time to ask. Because I'm just gonna be here, drawing flowers, for a very long time. And my mind will be wandering places, doing its own thing. Because there's only so much I can think about when I'm just drawing lines around flowers over and over and over again. And it's a very necessary step, but nonetheless, it is not exactly mentally intensive. If it weren't for my throat, I wouldn't be surprised if I could stream for like 12 hours just doing this. Well, I guess my throat isn't the only thing stopping me there. I have other responsibilities too, because I have kids. But unironically, I could stream for a very, very long time. If the only thing stopping me was the difficulty of what I'm doing. Because I don't know, rendering is pretty brain dead. I don't have to think about it that hard. I really don't. All I need is patience, which I only have sometimes. Not gonna lie. For these ones in the background, when I have the colors inverted like this, the darker ones in the back are going to be lighter. So these lighter green ones, they are not going to get that red center. At least not yet. They're not going to have as much color variation in general, really. So, I'm leaving this one just how it is right now. It's fine. It's perfect just like that. I see that I missed a little slit there. There we go. Could put that back in. Oh boy. I'm probably going oh boy a lot because that's how I always feel when I'm doing lots of repetitive rendering. Just like, oh man, I drew all these things. Now I have to make them all look nice. And I see I've barely gotten started and there's so many left. Oh boy. I always feel it hard. All it never stops. But you can tell that it makes me happy to some extent because I keep doing it. Always will. It just makes everything look so nice and pretty. This is what suffering for your art looks like. Because art is hard. And there's a bunch of stuff you gotta do to finish it out. That's not always fun. But nonetheless, it still manages to make me happy. A lot of the time, I only get a lot of the happy after it's done. I think that'll probably be the case here. The moment-to-moment process, a little bit less enjoyable. But the result makes it worth it. That's why I keep doing it. That's why I always make the decision to do it again, and again, and again. How are we looking? Pretty good. Look at all those nice flowers. This is also why I wanted to keep it symmetrical, even though I don't think the final version will be. Just because, at least this way, I only have to render half of them. Maybe I'll have to make some corrections at the end after I flip certain parts and move it around, but I think it beats having to render 100% of the flowers. 50% is much nicer. Because I still have my symmetry tool turned on, you can see it up here. It is on. I'm mirroring all of this to the other side. Just so I don't have to do it. Get rid of her the fan, so that this way I can see through here a little bit better. It's okay, she'll get her own back later. She doesn't need it right now. It's not important. Not important at all. Okay. Man, I don't think I've even approached the third of the point here. Have I gotten to the quarter yet? Let me see if I divide this. And then again, yeah, I guess I've probably done about a quarter. This is what my journal scraping sounds like. Just breathy, quiet, desperate. many sessions do I think it'll take to actually finish drawing all these flowers? I don't know. I don't want to think about it too hard. I don't. At least here I get a few easy ones. Do some quick outlines and it's done. Heck yeah. See, I don't like the shape here. Let's go ahead and buff that out just a tad. There we go. Now I can just finish it out. Just like that. It really is amazing how much it makes these little ones that are just like folded in on each other, or folded in on itself, or just coming out of the bud. How all the lines just really make it come alive. I like the way it looks a lot. That's why I'm doing that. While I'm complaining about it. Like I said, the result makes it worth it. But man, is it painful sometimes. It's just a little tedious. I always say while drawing things that some parts look a little bit tedious. I think I said this a lot while I was rigging too. That some parts do look a little bit tedious, but they don't feel as bad as it looks. This probably feels as bad as it looks. It is not the height of entertainment for me. But it's gotta be done. It's important. It's very important. Man. I felt like the width of this line was a little inconsistent, so I wanted to go back and adjust it. There we go, that's a little better. Alright. Deep breaths. Okay. Deep breaths. This is where I would normally like put on a podcast or something. Just have something nice to listen to. And while my piano music is very nice, it is maybe a little bit too relaxing for what I'm trying to do here. Something to get me a little bit more amped up would be nice. But I don't have any music like that scoped out. So nice piano music it is. I don't want to deal with copyright shenanigans when I'm just trying to draw. Oops. I guess sometimes I wonder while listening to relaxing music if I just want to get into the ultimate relaxation space. But most of the time, it just puts me to sleep. Great for if that's the goal. Less great if I don't want to fall asleep. And right now I'm trying to get back through the days without napping, so I definitely do not want to sleep. Man. As far as it's a good thing, it looks good though. Difficult things are always what makes it look the nicest. So I gotta do it. I might complain about it sometimes, but I gotta do it. It's important. Nothing wrong with a little bit of complaining occasionally. Though I feel like this isn't as bad as the last big flower garden I drew. And that's because there aren't nearly as many dense, overlapping flowers here, so the structure is very easy to perceive. I wasn't doing that one in a stained glass style though, so I didn't have to do all these lines. So, in that sense, this is a little bit harder. But it's a little bit easier because there's just less overlapping stuff. There's only a little bit of overlapping stuff. Also, it's smaller. The last flower garden I drew was much larger than this. It took up like a quarter of the screen. Whereas this is just a quick border. And in the last flower garden I drew, it wasn't the focal point, but it was very important to the overall picture and the atmosphere, so I had to render them a little bit more clearly than I did these ones. It's kind of funny how all these factors can add up to make things more difficult than they otherwise would be. Or how the difficulty of something can vary from picture to picture, even when you're drawing something similar. Alright. My throat's starting to dry out a little bit, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get to the halfway point here. Halfway point being, like, right about here. So let's say to this guy. And I'll get everything on the kind of the branches here and stop around this area. So, only a few left. I'll go ahead and stop once I get down there. Just because I don't want to work my throat too hard while I can't talk, and I'm trying to get my voice back. But honestly, it's kind of good that I have something easy and relaxing to do while I'm not feeling my best. So I'm glad I can still stream. I missed streaming those 2 days so much. I really did. That's why I decided to come back before my voice came back, because I like doing this, and I like drawing my picture. And I don't want to exist in that timeline where I don't get to draw. It's too sad. It's way too sad. So I'm glad that things got bad after I'd made all the decisions, and it was just time to render things. Because that is something I can do in my sleep. So I don't need to be feeling my best in order to get this part done. And hopefully, in the next week, I'll be getting all my energy back, and my voice will come back, and I can actually talk properly again. And we don't need to do this pseudo ASMR stuff. Yeah, there we go. Took me a couple tries there, but I think I got it. So I'm calling this point that I'm getting up to the halfway point, but that's really only in distance, not in terms of flowers. I think I still have more than half the flowers after this, just because the bottom part is way more dense than the top part. But that's alright. I think this is pretty good progress for today, and I think I can be happy with that. And I might do some more drawing off stream too. Just because drawing is pretty fantastic, and I want to remember how to draw noses. It's been too long since I've drawn a proper nose, so here we are. And you'll see that sometimes I draw through the lines there. Sometimes when I do that, I do it on a new layer just so it's easier to erase. But I didn't feel like it, so this is fine. But yeah, it's easier to do things in one quick stroke rather than trying to break up that stroke. So I just do it all at once like that. Because I should start with this one. This is the one that's going to be on top. Yeah, This pedal's gonna be the one that's on top, so I'll go ahead and start with it. And then start working my way around. I think that makes a bit more sense than what I was trying to do before. There we go. And it's okay if I have some color a little bit outside the lines. Everything will be touched up at the end. When it's time to go back and add all of the nice color details, get everything looking just right. Phew. Phew indeed. The line width there is wildly inconsistent, so I need to go back and adjust this a lot. I want it to be more like these guys over here. Right now it's just way too thin. My hand is starting to cramp a little bit. Oh no. But I'm determined to get to that halfway point, so I'm gonna carry on. Just a little while longer. It's like I'm almost there. Almost there. All right. Phew. Oh man. I think I can make it though. Oop. I accidentally somehow hit the opacity bar. Not sure how that happened. Not sure how that happened. Guess my hand just accidentally slid into it or something. Oh yeah, and I have to... get these guys. Make it all nice. I guess that's fine. I think I said before that I don't go quite as hard on these areas as I do like the face. The face, if something is even slightly off, I go back and redo it. Because it's just too important to leave. think of. I might, after I finish all this, I might go back and revisit the face. Or, maybe I'll just do that first thing when I'm feeling a little bit better. Just because there is something a little bit off about her eyes, and I think I identified why. I think it's because of how I shaded your eyelashes. So I have some things I need to adjust there. And I will definitely go back and do that when the time comes. But I would like to finish this first, or at the very least, get my voice back. This is a great activity for when I'm feeling a little bit sick. So, it all worked out. It all very much worked out. Hello, Anubis. How are you doing today? Phew. Okay, I think I got everything over there. Yep. Alright, on to the next one. I did. It's quite unfortunate. We're gonna get back, but I really wanted to come stream, so I just did it anyway. I just turned up the sensitivity on my mic really high. This is why you could hear me, even when I'm whispering like this. That's good. How? How what? Oops. Wrong color there. There we go. That should be fine. Severe allergies. There's like a rogue plant in my backyard or something that my allergies just highly disagreed with. And it got really, really bad. But they're getting better, so I think I'm hopeful that my voice will come back in the next couple of days. I really hope so, because this sucks. It is getting a little bit better. Now, when I try to make normal noises, my voice comes out, it just sounds like a dying animal. But the past couple of days, when I tried to talk normally, no sound came out whatsoever, so it's progress. Dying animal noises is very much progress. So I just gotta wait for the rest to come back. Life is hard. Yes, I will spare you the demonstration. No one needs to be here dying animal noises. But the fact that I can now make noise makes me hopeful that my voice will come back soon. And it looks like I am almost to the halfway point in lining all my flowers. I had that one outlined for where roughly the halfway point was. So almost there. Because I drew so many flowers. There are so many. It's a good thing they look nice. Alright. So we'll get the ones around here. And then I'll probably have to stop for today. But I will go ahead and get the ones just kind of in this area. Because I can, and I feel like it. And then tomorrow, I can do the lower half. Unfortunately, that lower half is where the majority of the flowers are, so still got a lot to do. Still got a lot to do. But I feel like it's going pretty well. 90 minutes to line half of them. Well, a little bit less than half of them. Not bad for me. Because I tend to be pretty slow at drawing. So I'll take it. I will take it. So, here we go. Just gonna do a few more and then I think I will call it for today. Just these guys in this little branch and maybe this tiny little guy sitting there too. Yeah, I think I'll get this branch and that'll be where I stop. Then I'll zoom out and for the colors back. Take a look at what I drew today, because I want to see it. I want to see it. I think that this has been looking pretty great, and I just want to see what it looks like for real. I've taken a few looks, but nothing wrong with sneaking a few more peeks. There we go. Okay, last one. Last one for today. Man, I've been really looking forward to coloring all these. I think it's gonna look really nice. Once I have all the colors in. shape here, so let's touch that up just a little. There we go. Alright, let's invert these colors back. And I want to take a look at them. Let's go ahead and get rid of this too. I'll go ahead and give her her arm as well. Just to get an accurate look at what all this looks like. Yeah, and I think the lines are thick enough. And they're all looking very nice. I am quite happy with it. Look at all those little flowers. There's so many. Alright, so tomorrow, down here, get all these guys. Oh, man, the intensity there is just so big though. I'm scared. That'll be for future me. And this is where I will stop for today.